Hi everybody, greetings from St. Stephen's and St. Joe's. Father Hennis here with
Stephen Weller, seminarian.
And we are so excited that this weekend, this Pentecost weekend, this last Sunday in the Easter season, we will be reopening our doors. We will be celebrating Mass together. Now, our Mass times are a little bit different than they were before. Over at St. Joe's, not too much changed. It'll be at 4 o'clock and at 10:30 on Sunday. But here at St. Steve's, because of this new conundrum of Corona, we're just pushing the Mass ever so slightly back to 6 p.m. So if you come at 5:30, you know you're going to have an extra half an hour to pray. And that's not a bad thing either. Sunday Mass stays the same though. That will be at 8:30 in the morning. Now, I think our journey to Mass, though, is going to begin at home, isn't it, Stephen?
That's right. There's going to be a lot of things different, but the first thing that we want to let you know is that the Mass dispensation is actually still in effect. If you do not feel comfortable with going to Mass at this time, you do not need to.
So I don't have to go to Mass?
That's right. You don't have to go to Mass.
So I don't have to go to
You don't have to go to Mass. In fact, especially if you're sick, please don't come to Mass for the safety of others.
So I don't have to go to Mass?
Well, Father, you're going to be celebrating the Mass.
Okay.
So
I'll be there.
I would appreciate if you were there.
But for some of our older and wiser folks, and for anyone with those outstanding health concerns, please consider staying home. You know, we don't want to make anybody sick, but if you're able to join us at Mass, we are so excited that you can come. And how are they going to come?
Well, a couple things that we need to know about coming to Mass is first is that it would be preferable if we registered for Mass beforehand.
Like a cat or a dog? We need a license?
No, you don't need a license. It's actually
a handgun.
It's
Okay, we're not registering those either. How are we doing this?
It's actually pretty simple.
Okay.
If you go to the website,
What's our website again? Together in Faith? St. Joe's Point, the St. Stephen's
Point
Web,
Catholic
something.
Faith.
Oh, that's right, the new one. PointCatholicFaith.org.
if you go to pointcatholicfaith.org, there will be a link on there for registering for Mass, and it takes a few seconds. It just asks you what Mass you will be going to, and how many will be in your party, and I think just your phone number, right?
Well, probably their name too. I think
Oh,
we
yeah,
want to
their
know
name.
who's coming, because we can't really tell by your clickety-click, but
It just takes a few seconds. You just fill it out, and then everything will be good to go. We'll have your registration. We'll send a notification on Friday that we've have them all. If you don't have a computer, though, you can also call the office. You can either call St. Joe's or St. Stephen's.
It's the same phone, folks. 2 different numbers. Goes to the same place. Dial extension 101 either way. And if it's during business hours, hopefully our fantastic secretary will answer. And she's going to ask just those couple of questions. Your name, how many people are coming, which Mass you going, and what's a good telephone number for you. That's all we need to know so that we can reserve your spot, your pew for Mass. If you call after hours or if Christy's on another line and you get the voicemail, just leave her a message. You know, hi, this is Father Hennis calling. There'll be 2 of us, and we're going to be going to the 4 o'clock Mass, and the 6 o'clock Mass, and the 10:30 Mass, and we should probably be at the 8:30 Mass too. But I think you're probably only going to want to reserve one of them. But just leave that message. Let us know which Mass you're coming. And now, of course, you're going to have to do this every week, beginning every Monday. You can sign up for the upcoming Sunday's Mass. So feel free to give us a call or go to the website on Monday again to sign up for the wonderful Sunday, which is?
Pentecost.
Well, that's this Sunday, but what's the Sunday after Pentecost?
Trinity Sunday.
We're testing him. He's doing fine, folks.
Another thing too with the Mass registration, just to stress the importance of it, is just so that we, because we're limited in capacity to protect everyone, to make sure that there's enough distancing. That way we can get the seating arranged beforehand to minimize contact.
Okay, so before I come, ideally I'll reserve a spot for Mass. Of course, if we have extra room, we'll fit people in on the first come, first serve basis, but please do try to register for a spot. But before I go, I do need to make sure that I'm healthy, right? So
That's right. So there's a couple things you can do, Father.
such as?
Well, first you can take your temperature.
Ooh, these lovely things are amazing. So I'm gonna take my temperature every time before Mass and make sure that I'm doing okay. And right now we're at a beautiful, I am perfect. I feel like Mary Poppins, 98.6 degrees. Remember, if you're over 100, we ask that you stay home. Is there anything else I should make sure I bring for Mass?
This is genuine antibacterial hand sanitizer. There will be some at the church, but it would be also helpful if you brought some because we don't exactly have an abundance of supplies.
Yeah, there's not one at every pew. We will have it at the doors and we'll have it available when you come up for communion. But I don't know about you. I've been like using this stuff like it's going out of style. So you might want to bring your own little personal stock because not only will you be able to hand sanitize yourself as needed, but it'll also save us our stock so that it lasts longer for us too.
Same is true of gloves and masks. You're very welcome, even encouraged to bring those, especially if you feel comfortable doing so, but it is not necessarily required.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to wear gloves and masks, though I would really encourage folks to please do consider wearing the mask. I think if Menards is requiring it for us to pick up our 2x4s, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea for us to wear a mask too. Our ushers and our cleaning people, they're gonna be required to wear masks and gloves at all times, just for their own safety, and we'll be providing them with these amazing fashion accessories. So not only did our ushers used to have those snazzy dazzy little name tags, but now, notice how it's blue so it'll match. How wonderful is this, folks? I mean, this is the greatest fashion right here, right now.
You really pull it off.
And speaking of pulling off, we've got all these amazing gloves too. So we'll be making sure that all of our ushers and all of our cleaners are wearing these for their protection as well as for the safety of everyone who's coming.
Now, going to Mass, so after registration and preparing, there's going to be a few things different in Mass that might be helpful to become accustomed to before actually entering. The first one is, how do I get into church?
We have to go inside, don't we? That's right. We can't do parking lot Masses. We have to go inside. And I think the easiest way for us all is to look for those ramped doorways, because coming into church, those will be the only doors unlocked. So over at our wonderful parish of St. Joe's, enter through the Jefferson Street doors. Those are those main doors that go towards the Family Center. No, the Family Center is closed indefinitely, but just come on through those wonderful doors there, our main doors that face Jefferson, and you'll come through our beautiful lobby, up the ramp heading into church. There'll be a host to greet you, and an usher will take you to the next available pew that fits your family party size.
At St. Stephen's, that would be on the rectory side.
Oh yeah, where the wheelchair ramp is over here too. So once again, come on up that ramp. Try to observe that 6 feet apart between the party in front of you so that we're all safe and being socially distant. And as you come into church, we'll have a host greeting you inside, and ushers will take you to the next available pew as well.
Once you're inside of Mass, there's going to be a couple differences there too. The first is there won't be any hymnals.
How are we going to sing?
Excellent question, Father. We got these nifty one-time use disposable worship aids to help you through the liturgy. It will have the readings, the songs, and so forth for the Mass, and they will be provided. You can also print them off at home on the website at pointcatholicfaith.org.
Which is very helpful because every Saturday from here on out, we will be recording one of the Masses either at St. Steve's or at St. Joe's. I'm putting it up on the parish website. For our friends who aren't able to join us in person, they'll be able to watch Mass at pointcatholicfaith.org Sunday morning and pray along, even print out the worship aid, and hopefully see some friends and neighbors and raise your voices in joyful song too. So what a wonderful gift and joy to be able to do all of this together. Now, in the sanctuary, we're going to see a little bit of a reduction of people because we're trying to keep everybody safe. So we're limiting the folks that are in the sanctuary. So for example, Stephen and I will be doing all the sacristan work. So a special thanks to all of our church sacristans, but go get one of those fruity beverages with an umbrella in it. You're on vacation for a little bit. We'll take care of the Mass setup. Just so there's fewer people touching things, we're just trying to be safe. As far as our lectors and servers go, I want to thank everyone for your service, and in a few months we will be reaching out to you and getting things rescheduled that way. But in the meantime, we're blessed to have an instituted lector and an instituted acolyte. These are like professional readers, professional servers that will be aiding at all of our Masses. Stephen, do you know who we're getting?
Yeah, it's actually me. So.
We're going to see a lot of this guy over these next 2 months. What a wonderful opportunity for us to get to know him and for him to get to know us. So we'll have that taken care of. The other thing that will, of course, be a little bit different, aside from us keeping, space, apart from other families, we'll be kind of sitting families at the edge of a pew, and then we'll keep that middle nice and open, and then another smaller family on the other, side of the pew. Or if we've got a big old family, you get the whole pew all to yourself. How wonderful, how beautiful. And of course, every other pew will be blocked off. Now, when it comes to communion, we have it down to rocket science, how we all come out and go up, 2 by 2, just like Noah and the ark. We're still doing that, right?
Incorrect. No.
What?
We can't do that.
We're not doing that?
In order to maintain social distancing, we'll be making one. And this will remind you in Mass, too, how to do this, and the ushers will help. But we'll make one line, and there will be crosses on the floor to help you know how to socially distance.
I think that's so important that we're even ringing bells at this time for us to realize that when it comes to communion, it'll be single file and only one row going up at a time. Look for the crosses in the floor. Keep 6 feet apart from the person in front of you, and know that at the beginning of the aisle, right before you receive our Lord Jesus Christ, there'll be an opportunity to make use of hand sanitizer. We're encouraging everyone who feels comfortable to please receive on the hand, and that's why we have that hand sanitizer right there. Now, if you were wearing gloves, you will have to take those gloves off to receive Jesus on the hand. But if you have that devotion and wish to receive Jesus on the tongue, you most certainly can too. Just know that after I place Jesus on your tongue, I then have to set Jesus down on the altar, wash my hands, sanitize them, and then go pick Jesus up again and resume communion. So it'll just take us a little bit longer, but you can receive on the tongue as well. My friendly encouragement is to receive on the hand so as to be able to have our communion distribution reflect our regular practice as close as possible, but of course the choice is up to you.
The other big difference would be at the end of Mass, ushers will direct you to the correct exit door. There will only be one exit door, and there they will give you your bulletin if you'd like, obviously with gloved hands, and that would be about it.
Yeah, now we'll still be mailing bulletins for this weekend. Hopefully you have our bulletin already. They went in the mail yesterday, which was Wednesday. So hopefully they're in your mailbox today, Thursday, or Friday at the latest. And of course, the bulletins are always online too. So you should have one already. If you have one, please don't take one. They're kind of for our guests or the folks that aren't on our mailing list. And we'll do the same for next weekend too. Eventually, we'll have an opportunity to opt off of the bulletin mailing list. But just for ease and simplicity and not knowing everyone who's coming each week, we'll keep mailing them out at least for the next few weeks until we get that nice little opt-out option. The other thing to remember is that for exiting church, we'll be exiting through the back. So over at St. Joe's, that means though you're coming in that Jefferson Street door, you'll be exiting out Wyatt Street. So that'll be down that big staircase. Now, of course, if you can't handle those steps, and they can be tricky, we ask that when the ushers dismiss you, and we'll be dismissing from the back, working our way to the front, just stay in your pew and wait for everyone else to leave church, and then you can head out the front of the church via the ramp. Similarly, here at St. Stephen's, we'll be dismissing through the back of church. You'll be exiting out onto Clark Street, and then from there you can wander off to your car. If you do need the ramp, when the usher comes to dismiss you, just kind of wave that lovely person off. Stay seated, wait till everyone else makes their way out, and then you can head out the ramp door.
We'll remind people of all of these things too during Mass.
Oh, exactly. And please, especially for our younger folks who are less than 60 and in good health with no outlying concerns, we do need some more cleaners to assist. Many hands make light work, so if you're able to help us clean after Mass, that would be greatly appreciated. Once again, we've got these fantastic fashion accessories for you to wear when you're cleaning, these wonderful masks and gloves, and basically we need people to help us to wipe down touch surfaces. So that'd be things like doorknobs, hand railings, and of course the big one will be the pews. So that way our church remains a safe place for people, and if there's any of those lovely little viruses around, we introduce them to our good friend, Mr. Clorox.
Would this be a good opportunity for people needing service hours for confirmation, Father?
Funny you should mention that, because this past week I did mail out to all of our juniors a reminder that we need 3 service hours done this summer, and if we do 3 masses of cleaning, I think that would fulfill that requirement. So a special shout out to our high schoolers. Please consider giving generously of your time and your talent for your parish community.
And that would be after Mass.
After Mass, yeah, we're not going to sanitize people when they're sitting in church. That would be kind of weird, wiping them down with bleach in the middle of church. We'll wait till afterwards.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I hope to see everyone at Mass this Sunday. If you're able to make it in person, fantastic. And if you're not able to make it in person, know that we'll be having the Mass posted on our website, available Sunday morning. So just go to pointcatholicfaith.org, and you should see us there underneath the Mass tab. So I wish everybody a beautiful and a blessed day. Call if you have questions, and we look forward to celebrating the Mass of our Lord Jesus Christ soon and very soon. Saying goodbye from St. Joe's and St. Stephen's, this is Father Hennis.
And this is Stephen Weller, the seminarian.
God be with you, and see you at Mass this weekend.
God bless.